Hello again, seventh graders. Welcome to week 8. It's our first lesson of week 8. We are on textbook page 311 today, and we are still in topic 6, lesson 3. Here we go. Let's warm up with a little quiz. Which is not a way that minerals can be made? So I'm looking for the wrong answer from A through D. A, organic materials like corals. B, solutions, which are water with dissolved substances. C, mitosis, or another word for cell division. Or D, magma and lava. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to get rid of some answers. I'm going to get rid of organic materials because we learned last week that is a way to make minerals, especially with corals, little organisms that make a calcium carbonate exoskeleton or like shell, and when that animal dies, the parts of the shell are left over, and those are minerals. I'm also going to get rid of magma and lava because we're going to learn today that that is a way to make minerals. So correct answer is mitosis. That's another word for cell division. Minerals are abiotic, meaning they are non-living, so they're not made out of cells, so they're not going to go through mitosis or cell division. Okay, the goal today is to learn how minerals form. We already talked about organic materials. We also already talked about solutions. We didn't talk about magma and lava, so that's what we're going to focus on today, how minerals are formed from magma and lava. Okay, but before we begin, let's review what's inside Earth. Remember I said if you cut open Earth, like if you cut open a basketball, you would see layers like a cake. And so we already talked about the innermost layer, if you remember. So let me go from the outside in. The outermost layer right here is called the crust, and this is where all of our continents, land, and oceans are. All right, the next two layers are called the mantle, and they're actually made of melted rock. And sometimes people call melted rock molten rock. It's just basically rock that is so hot, it's liquid. And we talked about the core, which is the inner part of the earth, and that's really, really hot. And it's so hot that it melts the two layers of the mantle, and that's how we get melted or molten rock. So sometimes the Earth's crust can crack, and can happen through an earthquake or a volcano. So if you look at a volcano, you see that the actual dome part of the volcano is on the crust, but the volcano actually reaches all the way to the mantle. So when we have a volcanic eruption or an earthquake and you got a big crack, sometimes molten or melted rock can escape. And so now we're going to have new names for this molten rock based on where it's found. So if the molten rock breaks the surface, we're not going to call it molten rock anymore. We're going to call it lava. So in this diagram, there's lava that's bursting out of the volcano, and there's also lava running down the sides of the volcano. So that is molten rock that has reached the surface. So if it's underneath the surface, we call it magma, and we only call it magma when it's underneath Earth's surface. You know, scientists love to make names for things instead of just saying like underground molten rock, above ground molten rock. We added a new name because, I don't know, scientists are mean to us. Okay, let's focus more on volcanoes and let's talk about what's inside of a volcano. So we already know that there's going to be magma. And remember, magma is this molten rock. If that molten rock or magma reaches the surface, it's now called lava. But besides magma, there are also gases and minerals inside a volcano. And eventually, this molten rock or magma or lava, if it reaches the surface, will cool. And when it cools down, a rock is formed. Okay, so here's a little GIF. You can see that it's, I believe that's lava. You can see that it's pretty hot because it's red hot, but you can see the edges are kind of cooling down, and eventually that's going to solidify or become solid. And so if I was to look at that newly made rock from magma or lava, I would see that within that rock, there is now mineral deposits. Remember, rocks and minerals are not the same thing, but they hang out together. So if you have a rock and you look closely, you're probably also going to find minerals. I have a question for you. If minerals are formed from magma and lava, which is basically melted or molten rock, do you think that every time magma or lava cools, it's going to make the same type of mineral? What do you think? Well, it's not going to be exactly the same because we're going to have different types of minerals form depending on the different materials and gases present in the volcano and also how the magma and lava cool. So I'm going to show you some examples of how different magma and lava looks depending on how fast or slow it cooled down. So let me start with fast cooling lava. So lava is molten rock that has reached the surface and it looks something like this. So it kind of looks like I got a lot of holes in it. All right, now let's look at slow cooling magma. So this is going to be molten rock underneath Earth. And when it cools, it's going to look like this. So that's completely different. And also, for our last example, let's look at fast cooling magma. So this is also molten rock underground, but it looks like this. And it almost looks like it has a lot of little holes in it. And this is actually called pumice, and this is the stuff that you use to, like, if you have really dry, scaly feet, to kind of get all of the dead skin cells off your feet. So you've probably seen pumice before. It's quite light. So just based on the cooling, you get different results. So you're not going to make the same type of mineral over and over and over again. It really depends on what's inside the volcano and how fast or slow it cools. All right, so where am I going to find minerals formed from magma and lava? Can I just go into my backyard and dig up some dirt and hope that I find some? No, you cannot find minerals from magma and lava anywhere. You can only find it where there are volcanoes. So most of the Earth's volcanoes are located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. So here's what it looks like. So it's not really anywhere where we are, which is Buffalo, New York. It is near the Pacific Ocean, and it's on the west coast of North America, South America, near Australia and Asia. Okay, so why is there a ring of fire? Why does that exist? Why is that the hot spot for volcanoes? Well, it's near a subduction zone. And a subduction zone is a place where plates of Earth's crust go over and under each other. So here's a nice little gift. So actually, the crust is made up of plates that kind of float on the mantle. And so sometimes those plates will run into each other, they'll go over each other, they'll go under each other, they'll smash into each other. So a subduction zone is where one plate goes under and one plate goes over. And because of that movement, you got a little molten rock escaping. So you can have volcanoes there, and you can have magma and lava, and then get your minerals formed from magma and lava. Okay, let's end with a quiz. What is the difference between magma and lava? So hopefully this is easy peasy because I've said it a lot during this lesson. Okay, so A, lava is cooled rock. B, magma is above ground and lava is underground. C, magma is cooled rock. D, magma is below ground, lava is underground. Or excuse me, lava is above ground. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to get rid of lava is cooled rock because lava is molten or melted rock. So that means I'm also going to get rid of C because magma is also molten rock. It's just in a different location. So the correct answer is D. Magma is below ground and lava is above ground. All right, guys, that is it for our first lesson of the week, and I will see you back for lesson number 2.